Shalom, shalom. Kohalo Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakawadash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, and great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. And to speckled bird Israelites that are scattered abroad that look like the heathen nations. To y'all say shalom. And shalom to all you brothers and sisters that may be out there listening and learn to these videos. And shalom to all you brothers and all you Akim that's out there in the highways and byways laboring for the word of Yahweh Shemel Shai, trying to magnify his name and trying to wake up the elect of Israel. This truth is only for the elect of Israel. 2,000 people will be destroyed. And I also want to say the Israelites who you call today, so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, Guatemala, the Panamanians, those are Israelites today, always have and always will be. And then basically come back at y'all with another video on end time headlines, basically as y'all can see what it's about. It's about the the prices of meat. I said feet, Salakia. Meat going up. It says another 40-50%. And what's coming is a famine. Most of our people, they're not watching, right? The scriptures say watch as well as pray. Let's get that Luke, was that Luke 21? Salakia. Luke 21. And I'm gonna get 34. It says, take heed to yourselves. Let's say anytime your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, meaning your mind, doing things to excess and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unawares. It says, for as a snare shall come upon all them that will upon the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and shall stand before the Son of Man. So, we got to be out on the lookout. We got to be on the lookout, man. And we got to constantly be watching these prophecies. Pay attention to what's going on around us in this wicked world that we live in. Because the Lord is bringing down judgment, upon people, upon this world. The scriptures say that the Lord is visiting the earth and the world in which He made. We're at that time. And inflation is already pretty much, high. Food is already high, and it's gonna go up another 40-50%. Another thing that's going on right now is I think what they got going on, mass layoffs. So a lot of people, they're getting, fired. Cause I meant to do a video on that. Lord willing, I still can make a separate video on that about people getting fired at, these big corporations like Amazon, Facebook, Twitter. Because it's all planned out, man. Everything that's happening, it's all orchestrated and, planned, really. It's been thought about. It's been, it's being controlled, manufactured by these Edomites, man. The so-called white man, There shouldn't be no famine, but hey, it's gonna come because, like I said, first and foremost is biblical, and the Lord's controlling Esau, so Esau's not doing anything, that the Lord don't, ordain, or that the Lord don't want. The scriptures say, many of those that will upon the earth shall perish of famine, right? And that's gonna happen in this time that we're living in, the time of Jacob's trouble, And the food's gonna get up so high to where people are gonna start stealing, and food is not the only thing that's going up. People's, other bills are going up, like utility bills, water, lights, gas bill, whatever people got, rent, mortgage, all that other stuff is going up too, So like I said, this is gonna cause people to start, like I said, stealing, and taking stuff. You know, and this is gonna cause people to start, just acting a fool. You know, because hey, like I said, every time I see something about a famine or there being a shortage of food, I always think about um, what does it say on a Snickers commercial? They always say you're not you when you're hungry. You know, I always think about that, man, and you know, I think about how wicked people are, on a daily basis, and how just careless people are, and how people treat each other. Because the scriptures say, "The love of many shall wax cold." Right? Let's get that in Matthew 24 real quick. Um, because people are already, like I said, they're already wicked. And people act a certain way, and it's considered normal now. The time we live in, and all hell ain't broken loose yet, and people still act, weird amongst each other. How much more when they lose all their essential abilities to live. Because Matthew 24 and verse 12 it says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." You see, and that's going on. You know, sin upon sin, wickedness upon wickedness, and the care that people have for each other or had for each other is going away for things other than food. People rob each other over jewelry. People do shit just because, just because they can. But if there's no food, oh my goodness, no food. That's why we come into the worst times, in history, man. It's gonna be a time like never before. You know, let's get that in what's that second address, right? This is it's like second address, chapter 15, in verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world, to them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands." Right? It says, "For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, and a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." So that's coming too, man, that martial law. One day they gonna have them troops, them UN troops in front of these stores, man. You gonna have that MOTB to get inside of those stores, man. That's how bad it's gonna get eventually. And here's the point. Verse 19, it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation." You see? So, when people can't afford to get food, like I said, what are they gonna do? They're gonna take it from people. And when people getting laid off, people getting fired, the way they are, and the cost of living is already high. I mean, people ain't gonna have no other choice, man. They backed into a corner. So they're gonna do things that they don't normally do to survive. And that's what Esau wants. Order out of chaos. They want that so they can bring in the order. I think they have a saying called they want people to basically own nothing and be happy. Right? You're just gonna be content and happy with the crumbs that they give you. And that's how Esau wants everybody. you know. But, Esau's only going to get so far. But, once all hell breaks loose, man, ain't no turning back. It ain't going to be, normal, like it was before the C-19 or the pandemic. It's it. That's it. And everything is fake. Everything is GMO anyway, So, hey, let that food disappear. Let all that stuff come down. Let the rivers dry, because that's happening too. Let it happen, man. It gotta happen, man. We living in the wicked kingdom. You know. Let me get this in Second Ezra chapter 6 real quick in 22. Salakia. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." Right? it says, and the trumpet should give a sound, which when every man heareth, they should suddenly be afraid. And at that time, shall friends fight one another against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and the 3 hours they shall not run. So, as y'all can see, like I said, it's all biblical, man. You know, this is gonna happen, right? And the water's gonna be cut off. You know, and people they're gonna start, you know, changing and acting real crazy. You know, and we don't even know what's gonna happen to the people that took them jump shots, man. You know. So it's gonna get bad out here, man. It's gonna get real crazy. But I'm gonna get this in the book of Daniel, then I'll close out. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. So the only way, we're gonna escape out of these times we coming in, things being at an all-time high, not being able to afford anything, and that's what they're gonna bring in that CBDC too, because they want to bring that in. If you take this, CHIP, because that's ultimately what it's gonna be. They might not introduce it right away when they introduce that CBDC, because they gotta work people into things. People ain't gonna just take that thing, unless they desperate. So hey. Really, the Lord gotta, you gotta be an Israelite. You gotta be a part of the elect, man. That's how you gonna eat. Let's get that in the book of Isaiah, then I'll close out on that one. This is Isaiah 65, verse 13 says, therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but you should be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you should be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. So the ones that serve the Lord, they didn't turn their back on YASHAMIAHLA, that kept going. They finished out strong, Hey, the Lord's going to feed them, even when things get super, super duper high, all hell's breaking loose in society. The Lord got his elect. But that's what's going to happen to the majority of people. Two-thirds of our own people in the heathens. It says, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You see, so us seeing this makes us happy because, we want the society to break down so the kingdom could come. And that's the only way the kingdom can come. The scripture says, like, just what does it say? If this world be not thrown upside down, then cannot the world that's filled with good come. I paraphrase basically what it said, but basically, this world has to be thrown upside down. It has to be destroyed. All hell has to break loose, and them missiles have to hit, and then the kingdom could come. It ain't gonna just come. So with that, Lord willing, y'all was edified. I'm gonna give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bashem Kakwadash. Double honor to the other apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. YASHARAHLA. Shalom.